This is day 18. Before I even get started, okay, OBS is working, all the windows are up, mic's working. Alright. Alright, before I get started, let me get my color palette straight. See, I need Dan, I need Raekwon, and I need Genie Nizu. Okay, let's go ahead and plug in my background to start off with. Why is it not selecting anything? Okay. Go ahead and select my background. Alright, pick up the colors for Raekwon. So I don't have to worry about this anymore. Let me capture everything with white in it, just to make this easier on myself. Ta-da. I don't think I can put into words how irritated I was when I did all of that painting yesterday and none of it came through, or none of the audio came through. You know how crazy that is to be sitting there making a video where you're having a full-blown conversation with yourself and then you realize that none of it recorded and you did it all for no reason, like a crazy person? By the way, this is my first page of chapter 5 that you guys are looking at. I had the video yesterday where I asked if anyone had seen it to let me know which cover for chapter 5 you think I should go with. No one responded, and I kind of figured no one would after I lost the audio to the video. I don't even think anybody made it that long in, because my speed paintings tend not to get watched all the way through to begin with. I made a decision anyways, solely based on the fact that cover B in my last video at the very end is different from the look of most of my other covers. So I went with that one. I guess I could pull it up right now. I'll do that at the end of the video. So I'm just breezing through this with this color palette, by the way. I do this all the time painting Genie Nizu as well. I do so much work painting the backgrounds, and it's like it's gonna be lost once I do the little white and blue effect that he has in the background of each page. I don't know why I waste my time every time. While I'm here, just go ahead and do Raekwon's chains. Okay. I think under normal circumstances it would be easier to do the background first, but because this background is from an angle that I don't know what it looks like, I'm going to leave that alone for now. Yeah, I'm not even going to fool with that at the moment. Okay, I had to take a look at the whole panel for a second. So all of what I just did was wrong. Could probably get away with this, but for continuity's sake, I'm not going to do that. For the record too, I also don't have all of chapter 5 storyboarded. Wow, this is some of the stuff that I disclosed yesterday. Anyways, I never finished the thumbnails, storyboards, the thumbnails for chapter 5 yet. I have the vast majority of them done. Pretty much remaining is like the last page of my script. I'll actually at some point down the road, when I get close to those pages, I'll just start thumbnailing then. That way I don't really have to stop myself from actually working on the comic to thumbnail. I can avoid the situation that I found myself in this past week, where I was basically having to stop and storyboard because I had no pages to work on. Also, the way it's shaping up, I'll actually be finished with chapter, all things considered, if everything goes according to plan. I'll be finished with chapter, what chapter is this? Chapter 5, before this challenge is over. Ooh, definitely gonna have to clean that up. Anyways, as I was saying, I'll finish chapter 5 before the challenge is finished, which means there's a tremendous possibility that I will be working on chapter 6 as well in the middle of this 100 days. And I believe after chapter 6 is the final chapter of Uppercut. I believe so. I don't believe I'll be spending too much time in 2022 working on this comic. At least it's shaping up to not be that way, which leaves me open to work on different projects. And I already sort of have ideas for different stories in my mind already. We talked about that in other videos. Only this time I'm patient enough to not start working on them while I haven't finished this comic, because that's a recipe for disaster, at least for me anyways. I'm learning some lessons in working on webcomics. One comic at a time is a big one. Okay, and the light source should be the opposite on Genie Nizu, which his shadows and highlights are different anyways. Also, that first panel I didn't waste time recording or drawing because it was simple copy and paste from the end of the last chapter. Simply that's because that's where the current one picks up at. So this is also crazy too. I'm officially working on chapter 5 of webcomic. Also, I feel the need to ask this question. I'm thinking about opening my Patreon back up, but I don't know what I should necessarily do with my Patreon, which is kind of why I've had cold feet on it for the last couple weeks. I'm not even sure if I'm really ready to open my Patreon back up because I'm not sure who would donate to it. So I don't know if I should continue to wait right now or not. Also, I've heard of people, the advice I've been given is to actually offer content to people on your Patreon and not use it as a tip jar. The problem I have with that is a lot of the content that I offer is digital, and I already show quite a bit of it, so I wouldn't know what to offer anyone in a Patreon. So yeah, a lot of questions there. Oh crap, I wasn't supposed to do any of what I'm doing right now. Actually, I can get away with changing this up some. Well, never mind that now. Okay, so I'm actually done with that panel now. As I said before, I'll come back to the backgrounds because it's been a while since I've worked on this environment in my comics, so I don't know how I'm going to lay that out. Where am I? Okay. Considering I hadn't stopped to label anything in my color palette, this is making life a whole lot easier. There's no guesswork and there's no figuring out where I need to use the eyedropper tool, like just saving a lot of time at the moment. Of course, I always love to be efficient, or, in my case, it's a nice way of saying lazy. I almost want to do a tally of how many times I've drawn Dan looking borderline frightened in a page. So I feel like he's had this expression the majority of this comic. I'm so sorry. Not sure if I disclosed this earlier, but I do have the Marvel vs. Capcom soundtrack playing in the background. Probably the most unfitting soundtrack ever for a fighting game. Sounds amazing though. As usual, I am not zoomed in as I'm painting. Why would I be? Just made a change to the color palette. Didn't entirely like how that color was coming out, so I lightened it up some on Raekwon's shadows. And the difficult part is coming up next. Let me save because I haven't the entire time I've been working. This is how mistakes happen. No, I was going to try something different, but let me do my backgrounds the way that I know to do them so that I don't mess anything up and do something stupid here. I think now would be a good time for this. One of those times where I don't think this is going to show up in OBS, but nonetheless, why does it keep selecting? Alright, so got my stars in here. Whoa, I already forgot what I just did. Wait, why is it not picking up my colors? Okay, well, that looks wild. Anyways, I'm way too easily distracted. No. Let me see what pattern the colors coming from. Okay, so it should be turning blue around the other side and turning orange this way. Okay, sorry, I had to check and see if OBS was still recording. I almost had a heart attack as I saw 0000. That's the streaming thing and not necessarily me recording. So I almost panicked for a second there. Why don't I just use the fill tool? There we go. Well, just because this is gonna irritate me because it's in the way and I need to not be seeing this right now, let me get rid of the stars. Now I can merge the layers and get to work. Don't know why I'm doing all of this, but let's see, brighten that up some. No. And just to be on the safe side, working threes here, so put a third cloud on that side. Okay, I'm gonna start working on text now, but this is pretty much the end of, I was about to say page 18, day 18. How long have I been working on this? Wow, a lot longer than I initially thought. Okay, that's my work for the day. Like I said, excited to be working on page 5 of this comic. This actually means a lot to me. This is crazy that I'm this far along in the story. But in any event, hope you all enjoyed. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video or the actual page that I'm working on, or just whatever you got going on in your life. I guess I could be an ear for somebody to listen to. I don't know. But in any event, y'all have a good one, and I'm out.